So here's how to create an online course with Thinkific. If you'd like to follow along, you can click the link down below in the description or the pinned comment, or maybe you haven't gotten to use them and you want to test them out. If using that link, you'll get taken to a page that looks very similar to this, and by using that, you'll get to extend your free trial to a full 30 days, my way of saying thank you for checking out this tutorial. With that in mind, let's begin. Alright, so with this, I'm going to be walking you through the basics so that you know how to set everything up. Once you know how to say update your courses, add new modules and lessons and sections, you're going to be pretty much good to go. Okay, so what we want to do here is if you have a new account inside Thinkific, you're going to go to courses right here and then create a course right here. Alright, so this is going to be powered by AI where you can describe your audience and what they'll learn. Now, if you want to go the AI route, you can definitely do this. I have a completely separate video when it comes to using this method. However, in my opinion, you know your course better than anyone else in the world, or at least you should, right? Maybe if it's still a little bit new, but ideally what this is going to do is kind of give you an outline and a skeleton of how you can get up and running. But I'm just going to go with skip here because I want to start from the square one from the beginning and show you how to get up and running when you have nothing in your course. So I'm going to click on skip right here and just wanted to kind of give you that insight. All right, and here we are starting from square one. What we want to do is click on add chapter right here. I'm going to call this introduction, and let's do save. All right, and as you can see, that's going to be the specific chapter. Anytime you want to add a chapter, you do that, and it's going to bring down another box, and so on and so forth. From there, now what we want to do is add a lesson under that. So I'm going to click on add lesson. And we have a wide variety of different types of learning, I guess you could say lessons that we can utilize here, video, text, PDF, quiz, and so on and so forth. I'm just going to start with video because that's probably going to be the most popular if you're creating a course. Let's click on video. Alright, so I'm also going to be calling this the introduction. Usually what I like doing in courses is like the first chapter is going to be the intro and the lesson will also be the same thing. If you have anything else that you want to add in your intro in terms of other lessons, you can do that. If you want to upload a video file, you're going to click right here. You're going to find it on your computer and then simply upload it. If you've already uploaded videos, you can simply go to videos from your library, which I already have. This is going to be the intro right here. You can add text if needed. This is going to be business as usual, right? If you've used any other text editor, it's going to be the same thing right there. We have downloads if needed, PDFs, templates, ebooks, anything like that. And we have some miscellaneous sections. So you can make this a free preview lesson. You can make this a prerequisite. So it says students will be required to complete any lessons set as prerequisite before they can access the next chapter. So that's good if you want to make sure that your students and your customers watch everything step by step and they don't skip from like, step 2 to 17 and a half. I don't know why I said 17 and a half, but you get the idea. You can enable discussions for this lesson and you can make this video downloadable. Be very careful with this because depending on the privacy of your course, like obviously it's going to be on the inside of Thinkific, but if you have a high-priced, high-value course and you're making the videos downloadable, people can easily share them on the dark web, so to speak. So if you have something that's a little bit smaller and you want to make them downloadable, or at least some of your videos, you can definitely do that. But something to keep in mind, if they can be downloaded, they can be shared, anywhere. I've had that happen, I'm not saying on Thinkific specifically, but like any class platform. I've even had people steal my videos and upload them on YouTube to like make money off them. Like people are ridiculous when it comes to that stuff. I'm just letting you know because that could happen and it's up to you if you want to use that option, okay? So that's going to be that. If we have text right here, I'll just put it in so you see what it looks like. Thanks for signing up. Obviously you're going to probably put a little bit more than that, but I'm going to click on save lesson here. All right, great. And so that's going to be the introduction. So let's say if that was all you're going to have in that specific chapter, let's do another chapter. So let's click on chapter right here. For this one, I'm just going to call it the Blueprint Explained. Obviously, I'm sure you have your own chapters, lessons, and modules. So I'm going to click on save here. And once again, let's do add lesson. So do you see how we're going to repeat this process? So once you know what your chapters and your lessons are going to look like, it's all about just adding them in. So let's click on add lesson now. And here, let's say I'm going to do a video again. All right, so I have the title, Blueprint Explained. I have the video right there. I'm not going to put anything else. This is all going to be the same. It's going to be a little bit repetitive. Let's do save lesson. Okay, and now I'm going to do one more example where we choose something else aside from a video. So let's say we were still going to be in the Blueprint Explained right here. Let's do add lesson. And let's say we're going to be doing a quiz right here. Since a lot of these are going to be self-explanatory, like a download, you kind of upload it. With text, you just type it and so on and so forth. So quiz might be a little bit more different. So let's go with quiz here. All right, as an example, I'm just going to put the main goal, make this a free preview lesson. You can make it a prerequisite once again. There's going to be some other settings if you want to upgrade and get more, but let's say we want to add our question. All right, so question 1. For this, there's going to be some options. We have 1 or more correct answers or 1 correct answer. So what is your question? All right, so what is the main goal of starting up your social media platform? Okay, let's say choice 1 is going to be views. Let's say it's not going to be the correct answer. This can be subscribers. It's not going to be the correct answers. All right, and we want to add some more choices, obviously, because we don't even have a correct answer yet. We can do this. We can do something like clout, right? Add choice, and then we can do like leads and sales. Okay, and let's say that's going to be the correct answer. We're going to check that off. Explanation, and this is going to be the reason for it. All right, and just a very quick section right here. Too many people focus on things that don't matter on social media. In our case, leads and sales are going to be the most important. Okay, so that looks good. If you want to change around any of these, you can. And let's do save lesson. All right, and since that is done, it's going to be quite the easy process to go through and just complete all of the different chapters and lessons that you have. So this is going to be the intro lesson. This is going to be the Blueprint Explain chapter with a couple of lessons. And from then on out, let's say this was about TikTok, like the first chapter after that could be anything related to creating your account, adding your logo, editing your profile, adding a link in your bio, and so on and so forth. Next chapter is everything about videos, keyword research or video research, how you're going viral, how to create them, how to upload them, how to optimize them, and so on and so forth. If you want to give it a preview, you can certainly do that. You can publish it, but you don't need to now because there's going to be a few other steps. Let's click on preview right here, and we can click on all lessons, including a drafts, to have a good idea of what it's going to look like. Oops, accidentally clicked on myself. So this is going to be the intro right here. Like, thanks for signing up. Not a whole lot going on there. The cool thing about this though is that you can click on the complete and continue, and it's going to mark this off and move to the next one. I'll show you how that works. Great, you completed introduction. When they are done, you click on continue. All right, and here we're going to have the blueprint explained. So it's just going to be the video. We didn't put any type of text under it, so the video is going to be very dominant in this. They can make it bigger. There's a few other options they can utilize. And last but not least, we have the main goal. This is going to be a quiz. Let's check this out as well. All right, so what is the main goal of starting up your social media channel? Views, subscribers, clout, or leads and sales? Let's do this and confirm. The answer is correct, and this is exactly what we talked about, where it has an explanation for this. Okay, so pretty straightforward, pretty standard. Let's go back. And like I talked about, I wanted to cover the basics because everything I went over, even though I just showed you how to add like video, some text, and a quiz, now you know how to add your chapters, your lessons, and anything else that you want to add to it when you're creating your course. So that part you're going to have to do on your own because you know your course, you know how you're going to structure it with the chapters and the lessons and so on and so forth. And with that in mind, let's continue on, and we're going to be going to the settings section, which is right here. All right, and I'm going to quickly go through some of these settings here. The course name, obviously, you can change this right here. Just put Social Media Blueprint. This is just an example, right? Instructor looks good. Access can be private or hidden. You can disable text copying. So if for some odd reason, maybe you put like the what's the word I'm thinking of? Like the captions or the subtitles of your videos and you don't want people copying and pasting it, that's something you can do. It's really up to you if you just want to be a little bit more private about people potentially stealing anything that you have in your course. This is going to be the image and description. I don't have one that's this size at the moment, but pretty standard when it comes to uploading. This is going to be your description. What's it about? This one is saved from going from 0 to 30K followers in a month while generating leads and sales around the clock. Maybe it's a case study, just an example, but you know your course. That's where your description goes. We have our course player appearance. Now we showcased this previously. It did have that orange look. I'm more of a tropical kind of guy given my marketing island vibe, so I would probably do something like that. Light theme and dark theme. You have your font. And a lot of this is the aesthetic, so I will let you kind of play around with that if you want to change it. You have your course player logo if needed. This is progress and completion. So video lesson autoplay, that was on. I'd probably turn that off. That can get annoying. I don't like when videos autoplay unless I click on them. There's also video completion required. I'd probably keep that off as much as I would want someone going through everything. You're always going to get like a few people who complain how they have to watch it all and they like, you know what I mean? So I'd probably just keep that off. You have some completion settings, you have some social sharing, and drip schedule. This is normally going to be something that a lot of people use. So let's say we click on this right here. And when we are done, I will show you how to actually change that. So it says, if enabled, the drip schedule tab will appear in the top navigation menu. So let's keep that on there. This is mostly going to be about user roles and if you have affiliates, and that's pretty much going to be it. I'm going to click on save settings and I'm going to show you what the drip section looks like. So let's click on save. All right, and when we go back, you're going to see we have a drip schedule right here. So I'm going to click on this and only one option to choose here. Let's do create a drip schedule. All right, so when will the course content be released? It could be on a specific start date or it could be on a specific date. I would just do, if you're going to do this, whenever a student enrolls, so it's always going to be quote unquote evergreen. It's the same for everyone regardless of when they sign up. So I would go with something like that. And what you want to do is click on each specific section. So the introduction, probably want to do that immediately, so 0 days. And now obviously you're going to probably have a lot more content, but I'll just tell you how it goes here. What you do is when you pick something that you like, you click on save, you go to the next section, and this is going to showcase when this would be drip. So this is going to be this specific chapter, and these are going to be the lessons. So if you wanted to do it where like every chapter is released a day after, you could do something like that. You would click on save. And if you had the next chapter, what you could do is going to be every 2 days for each of those. You see what I mean? So it's really up to you. It's always going to be after enrollment. So how many days after they enroll do you want to have this drip fed? I will give you a tip here if you want to add an unannounced bonus. Something I've done before in the past is that you have this chapter all the way at the bottom, which is an unannounced bonus. And what you do is you would go to it and you would release it 30 days after they obviously take the course. What you can even do is go into the introduction chapter and add a lesson saying, hey, I have an unannounced bonus for you, which is going to unlock in 30 days. My way of saying thank you for being a customer and joining this course. So that gives them something to look forward to. And what you can even do if you have a follow-up series, 30 days from when they sign up, send them a link where it goes to that and they can get access and get that unannounced bonus. It's just another great way of adding more value and getting people to come back to your course, especially 30 days later, so they can really digest it, take action on it, most importantly, learn new things, and so on and so forth. So that is going to be the drip schedule feed. I'm just going to put this back to 0. Usually if you're doing a course, just like a main course, and it's a one-time payment, you're probably going to let everything go like 0 days so they get it all. But if you're doing more of like a membership, that's when it becomes helpful to do like a new batch every 30 days, then 60 days every 90 days, right? Kind of like they're getting new content every month. So I'm going to go back to clicking save here. And you're going to see everything is as good as gold. It's exactly how it was before, and that's going to be that. So that's how you can do the drip schedule. All right, and if you don't even want to utilize the drip schedule, just simply click on delete. Okay. And then what you can do is go back to settings. And if you scroll down, we're going to have that drip schedule here. I believe there we go. We uncheck it and we click on save. So that's going to be the drip settings. I wanted to make sure that you are aware of that just because it's an important feature to a lot of people depending on how you want to set up your course. Only 2 more sections. I'm going to go through these a little bit more quickly. Okay, so let's go to pricing. All right, so this is going to be the pricing, and there's only 2 things that you need to do here. Well, maybe 3. First is going to choose the type of payment that you're going to be using. Maybe it's going to be free, but obviously if you want to charge for it, you're going to choose one of the payment options. Then you're going to want to choose your pricing. Then you're simply going to want to set up Thinkific payments. So let's say we're going to be doing a one-time payment, and if you have a newer account, it's going to look something very similar to this. When you click on it, it's going to say make sure you set up your payments. So what you want to do here is just do, once again, we'll do 97, okay? Enrollment, leave blank for unlimited access. Yeah, you don't want to limit that if it's a one-time payment, in my opinion, unless that comes with something that you're going to be selling. Like you can, this product is going to self-destruct in 30 days after you buy it. I don't know if I've ever seen that before, but it's something you could do, okay? The option is there, okay? So what you would need to do is simply click on set up payments. I already have this in a new tab, which I will show you. All right, so you can activate your checkout in minutes and unlock a variety of powerful payment options like gifting or buy now or pay later. So If you're in US, obviously use that. If not, simply change it. And after that, what you want to do is set up Thinkific payments. This is powered by Stripe, and I'm not going to go through, it's a lot of like private stuff obviously, but it is pretty self-explanatory where you're going to be signing in and connecting it. And when you go back, that's how you can actually get paid using Thinkific payments. Okay, so that's a lot of like boring stuff that obviously and private that you're going to have to enter. So be sure to do that. And I believe they do have tutorials if you need any more help, but it's going to be very difficult for me to like show you how to do that and enter in my like really important information at the same time, okay? Anyway, when you are done, and this is going to be good, like it's going to be showing that you don't need to do that, you can simply go down and click on the Save Primary Pricing section. Last but not least, let's go to the landing page section. And ironically enough, there's not going to be a whole lot for me to kind of show you here because this is about as simple as it gets. I've talked about this when I did my Thinkific review, is that their landing page editor is very basic. Don't expect anything advanced here, but on the other hand, that's a good thing because it's not going to be very difficult to kind of figure out and navigate. As an example, we have a banner image right here where my mouse is. I'm going to click on it right here. If you want to change it, this is going to be where it goes. You can expand the fill. You can change around the scale. It really is as simple as clicking on something you want to edit and then editing it, okay? All right, and now moving on to the attention-grabbing headline, like what's the big hook of your course? All right, so discover how I generate sales around the clock using nothing but free social media accounts. Okay, something similar to that, right? Now, what you're going to see here has 2 chapters and 3 lessons. The cool thing about Thinkific is that this is going to be auto-populated. So all the chapters and the lessons that you create are pretty much just going to show up here. So if you scroll down, highlight can also be a very big benefit. It could be an image, maybe of like your video module course, maybe of something related to your course. Like if you're doing fitness and like this is going to be the part when it comes to nutrition, you can have some juicy, I was about to say juicy food there. Like I don't know where I was going with that. Something that looks at least, you know, pleasing to eat, right? If this is going to be like a weightlifting section, you have someone lifting. And if this is going to be like a cardio section, you have someone crawling on their head. I don't know what they're doing. They're doing something. They're burning calories, right? Obviously, you get the idea here. Like I said, not too much to kind of talk about or at least showcase here because it's really going to be based on what you're doing with your course. But highlights, you want to look at the benefits here. Your course is going to have features, but what people ultimately are going to buy are the benefits. Like here, let's just say I'm doing a course about TikTok. I'm going to show you how to upload videos. And someone's like, wow, that is so cool. I cannot wait to buy your course, James. But instead of saying the feature is like uploading your video, I'm going to show you how you present your videos so you get up to 1 million views where you can generate leads and sales around the clock all at the same time. That sounds a little bit sexier if you ask me, okay? Now I have had videos myself where all I did was repost them and get millions of views. It did bring in a lot of leads, brought some sales in as well. So you can see how when you're uploading and creating your video, if that's going to be like a feature or a thing that your course does, there's always a better way to say it. Now I'm going to pause right here. I'm going to give you a perfect example of this. And if you don't want to hear my example, you can use the chapter button down below, but I will just kind of give an example to kind of drive this point home about features and benefits. So when I used to work in a gym, I used to be a personal trainer. And before I went to that gym, it was really annoying because I wanted to actually like lift there. And they have to go through the process of like taking you around. Like I was ready like just to give them my credit card. I knew about the gym. I was familiar with it. But instead they had to quote unquote do it their way instead of just taking my money when I had my card, which is really dumb in the first place. Like if someone's ready to buy, you don't need to keep trying to sell them. Like you just take their money. Anyway, they're going around and this person is the worst at showcasing what this gym has to offer. So they're like, we have this new state-of-the-art equipment. And I'm like, okay. And we have these new ellipticals. And we now have this, and we now have that. And it's all features, features, features. It's like, it's cool. I noticed that you have 500 new ellipticals. I have eyes, but it's the what's in it for me, okay? If you really want to sell someone, like this girl was so bad that I probably almost wouldn't have bought the membership because it was just wasting my time. Like, this is what I'm talking about when someone has money to give you. You don't need to go through the whole process unless you need to qualify them. That's not the case in a regular gym, okay? Instead, she needs to think about what's going to be in it for you. All right, so let's do things a little bit differently. Let's say I was going to be the one who was actually giving a tour to someone, and someone came in, let's say they were 70 years old, and they love the cardio stuff. Great, okay, so let's say I'm walking through, and I say the same thing. We have these state-of-the-art, new ellipticals. So what? Okay, now you got to think about what's in it for the person using them. Well, These new state-of-the-art ellipticals are fantastic because not only do they allow you to burn a lot of calories, they give you a pain-free workout because you're not slamming on your feet and your knees, and it's going to be, your back's not going to hurt, your knees aren't going to hurt. You're going to be able to enjoy it all while being able to watch your favorite sports game late at night because that's when you said you like to come in, right? This whole section right here, like I said, you can skip it if you wanted to, is the biggest difference between features and benefits. Features are what they get. Cool. Sometimes they can be very sexy all by themselves, but never as sexy when you talk about what's in it for them. Okay. You got to turn into Wi-Fi. Was it WIIFM radio? What's in it for me? WIIFM. Okay. If you want to ever remember that. So features and benefits. This all came up just from me looking at highlights. So don't put the features there. Like you're going to mention that you have them obviously, but you got to make sure that you do. Okay, if you ever want a nice little tip too, you have your feature, which leads into this is beneficial for you because everything I just talked about, we have these new ellipticals and you're going to love these because you don't always have to say this is beneficial for you, but it's just kind of a segue. You're going to love these because you told me you have lower back pain, you have knee pain. These are going to give you that slow, smooth glide where you're not going to be landing hard on your knees or your back. So it's going to be a pain-free workout where you're going to be able to burn calories and watch the Chicago Cubs play on the TV at night because you said you love them and you love coming in at night. Perfect. All right, and if it was that girl who said that to like that guy, he would probably ask to propose to her because he knows exactly what she wants. Or she knows exactly what he wants, okay? I think I'm done with this now. My brain's getting a little fried and I'm carrying on. So that concludes features and benefits. I hope you got some value out of that. It's kind of like some sales and copywriting tips and techniques there. You can use it anywhere. If you are doing marketing, which I assume you are since you want Thinkific and you're using courses, this is something you can keep in the back of your mind on your emails, on your follow-ups, on your landing pages. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge right here. Okay, now we're done. Let's continue on. So about the course, once again, you know your course better than anyone else. This is a description. Speak directly to your audience, speak to their challenges, and show how your product provides a solution to their problems, aka what is in it for them. So this is actually a pretty good template right here. You can use this, you know, if you have ChatGPT, I mean, there is AI with this, but you could like plug this into your course and be pretty good, right? Your name, who you are, once again, very easy to do. Your picture, unless you want to use someone else's. I don't know why you would. This is going to be auto-populated, which is great, which I talked about. This is going to have the blueprint explained, the introduction, and so on and so forth. Testimonials, if you have them. If you don't, you could always just do something like this, and then continue on from that. Here you have a clear and direct call to action, and upon doing all of that, make sure you save it too. Okay, and if we want to preview it, I know it's not going to be, it's pretty much like a site for sore eyes with not editing a lot of the pictures, but let's take a look at it anyway. All right, we are currently in preview mode. Let's pretend that's something, I would say more beautiful, but that's not a bad shot. It could be like New Zealand. I went there a few years ago, and my goodness, it is beautiful. So that's going to be that. That's where they can enroll. These are going to be the features and benefits, which I spent a good amount of time on. The rest of this is self-explanatory. They do give you some good templates that you can use there. That's going to be where they can enroll. And that's actually going to conclude this tutorial about how you can create a course in Thinkific. So I hope you got some value out of this. I hope you enjoyed my rambling about features, benefits, and my stories. I hope I told them to the best of my ability. I'm not sure if I did, but as long as the point gets across to you and you also know how to set up your course in Thinkific, if both those boxes are checked, I think I did my job. So if you got any value out of this, be sure to give the video a thumbs up as it helps me out a ton. And of course, if you haven't gotten to check out Thinkific, maybe you were just watching this to hear me ramble on or just see how Thinkific works, you can use that link down below in the description or the pinned comment, and you will get an extended 30-day free trial. More time to set up Thinkific, more time to generate leads and sales, more happy. Okay, so my name is James. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy.